everybody. My name is Musab Maraqa. I'm currently master student at Technion, Israel Institute of Technology, and I'm working in the area of Lean and BIM. Today, I will give a presentation about empirical assessment of the impact of VDC and Lean on environment and waste in masonry operations. This research executed under the supervisor of Professors Rafael Zaks and Sabrina Spatari at Technion. We need to measure the impact of lean and VDC on masonry operations through making comprehensive life cycle assessment for two types of blocks, gypsum blocks and whiting blocks. Literature review. Lean production has had a transformative impact on building construction projects in which it has been applied. Waste, includes the exhaustion of time, money, and energy that returns no value to the end customer, and it's the most important variable that Lean aims to minimize. Virtual design and construction VDC is a practice in which both construction products and related construction process are modeled collaboratively and in detail using building information modeling tools. VDC approaches are being combined with life cycle thinking to reduce rework, waste, energy, and environmental impact, and to recover materials from construction and demolition activities. And finally, life cycle assessment is a valuable tool that can guide sustainable design products, process, and activities. In recent years, life cycle assessment has used to evaluate a variety of decisions in building material production. The research questions, or in other words, the goals, to what extent can Lean and VDC improve masonry block operations? Can they reduce the non-value adding activities? Second, the question, how can they reduce the wastes, which we can translate it to what are the environmental impacts? The main method is a case study. We studied two construction companies. The first company, Company A, which is Tidhar Company. It's a leader company in the area of Lean and PIM. They started their Lean and PIM journey in 2011. The second company is Company B, which until now works in traditional way, or in other words, in the original process. The quantitative research sources in this project, in this study, we include four projects. Two of them had already studied by Technion at 2007 and 2014 and related to the TIDHAR. The third project is a project for TIDHAR, but after they started Lean and VDC in 2019. And the fourth project is traditional project from a company in the market. There is some waste of examples in the traditional company. Here we can see waste of materials. The 5S, like here, the site is not clean, the work environment is not solved. Also, the workers don't take safety considerations during the construction. Moving pallets, lack of coordination between different contractors and disciplines lead to a lot of rework. Here we can see the wastes. In this project, what they did before they placing the concrete for the ceiling, they delivered the blocks in a random way to the floors, and they stacking two pallets on top of each other in order to minimize the area. But this lead to huge amount of wastes. We can see in this figure that there is a complete pallet destroyed. And in the second figure here, we can see that sometimes the workers need to stop all the work and only handling blocks. So there is a huge amount of waste in terms of material and in terms of non-value adding activities. Now, in the TIDHAR, which they implemented BIM and Lean, they modeled all the walls using Rivet, and they extracted the quantities from the model, and they made a plan to distribute the different types of blocks. They used white gypsum block, green gypsum block, which used like to resist water in the toilets and kitchens, and the whiting block. Also, they modeled all the blocks in their model in order to see what is the proper size for the blocks. So they minimize the cutting. They used the blocks to be multiple of the wall. Now, findings. The results were eye-opening. Project A1, which is traditional, the value-adding activities was 34.5%, and this in 2007. Now, when we made the study in 2019 in the traditional project, we see that until now the value-adding activities only 35.8. There is no improvement. While in 2014, when Tidhar made the study to evaluate what is the lean impact, the value adding activities increased to 63.6%. Now, when we measured it in 2019, when they for lean and VDC, the value adding activities increased to 68.4, and this due to the role of VDC in reducing the cuttings. Now, this table shows us the comparison between the four projects for the work activity. The first row shows us the value-adding activities for the different projects. Now, the non-value-adding activities here, we can see that in the traditional project, it's a 12.6, reduced to only 1.3 in the lean and VDC. Moving pallets reduced from 19 to 4.8. And for the other, cleaning, marking out, scaffold. And the last one show us that design changes is reduced in a project P1 to 5.2 in lean, which show us that even if we implement lean separately, it has a significant role in reducing design changes. Now, in order to answer the second question, waste and what is the impact of lean and VDC in reducing the environmental impacts, we made a comprehensive life cycle assessment for the whole supply chain of blocks from manufacturing, transporting the blocks to the construction site, and transporting the waste to the landfill. We see that both the projects are approximately the same scope and they have the same delivered quantities, 2,225 and here 2,313. Now, if we look for the delivered the waste volume, we see that in the traditional management, the amount of waste is 463 cubic meter, while in the lean and VDC less than the half, 220. When we made the global warming potential measurement in terms of ton CO2 equivalent, the total embodied global warming potential in waste in the traditional project is 62.4, while in the lean and VDC is 21.8, which is one third. In terms of global warming potential per block volume, we see that in the traditional management is 169 kilograms CO2 equivalent per meter cube, reduced to only 112 in lean and VDC management. Now, we made a hypothetical case in order to remove the effect of material type. We used both the traditional management and lean and VDC only gypsum block. We removed the white-on block in order to remove the material effect. Now, the delivered quantities are the same, the amount of waste are the same, but when we made the total embodied global warming potential in waste, in the traditional management is 46.7, reduced to 21.6 in lean and VDC management, which shows that even if the materials are the same, the waste, the lean and VDC have a significant impact in reducing the carbon footprint. And in terms of percentage, the traditional management have 28% of waste, which reduced to only 11% on lean and VDC management. Now, conclusions. We need to conclude about two things, operational impact and environmental impact. In the operational impact, lean and VDC play an important role in improving the Masonry operations. They increase the value-adding activities from 35.8 to 68.4. They reduce the moving pallets from 19 to 4.8 and the cutting from 12.6 to 1.3, and also moving between stores from 3.7 to 1.3. And it shows us that even if we implement lean separately, it reduced the design changes to the half from 10 to 5.2. Now, in the environmental impact, it shows us that lean and VDC reduce the block waste from 463 meter cube to 220 and reduce the total embodied global warming potential from 62.4 to 21.8 ton of CO2 equivalent, which in percentage reduced from 27% to only 10%. And thanks very much. for the attention.